Mitt Romney is in reach of the nomination, but he cannot escape the path he took to get it. Mitt Romney's 3 primary victories on Tuesday probably shut off what little oxygen remained for the campaign of his rivals for the Republican nomination. His nearly insurmountable lead does not justify efforts by party leaders to push Rick Santorum and Newt Gingrich out of the presidential race. They have every right to go on, even if they continue marginalizing the Republican Party by shoving it further rightward. But it does mean that Mr. Romney is starting to try to climb out of the severely conservative hole he dug for himself during the first 3 months of primaries. As he contemplates a less fanatical general election audience, he is beginning to talk about the interests of women, not mentioning the plan to get rid of Planned Parenthood, concerning that the occasional regulation might be useful, though he wants to eliminate many of the most important, even admitting that President Obama did not cause the recession. His problem, of course, is that wherever he goes, he will be followed by those extreme positions and careless statements, and others he made to get to the front of the pack. No shake of the Etch-a-Sketch can erase them. Campaigning in Wisconsin over the weekend, Mr. Romney seemed to acknowledge that he wants to repair a bad impression left with many Hispanic voters. We are going to have to make sure, as we talk to Hispanic voters, that we say we are not anti-immigrant, he said on Sunday. We are pro-immigrant. We are the party that loves people coming into this country as immigrants. It's going to take a lot more than that in February. Mr. Romney cast his immigration position in concrete, praising as a model the Arizona law that requires immigrants to show their papers on demand and makes mass expulsion state policy. That cannot be moderated away with soothing words about a love for immigrants. On Wednesday, he tried to deny that the House Republican budget he has praised for weeks was particularly extreme. On Tuesday, President Obama ran through a long list of severe cuts the budget would make to social and domestic programs. Mr. Romney insisted the budget would not necessarily harm the most important programs, but just how would he cut $3.3 trillion over a decade? The only program he cited for termination was health care reform, and cutting it would add $210 billion to the deficit over a decade. Campaigning on the House budget without being specific about the past will cause him to not be possible to balance the budget. At times, Mr. Romney even seems to want voters to forget which job he is running for. In his victory speech on Tuesday, he accused the president of building a government-centered society where free enterprise takes a back seat. But the job he is running for is head of government, not CEO of corporate America. Voters expect government to take an active role in helping rebuild the economy, not to sit back and do nothing. Mr. Romney opposed the immensely successful rescue of the auto industry and the regulations to prevent another economic meltdown. His party has rewarded him for advocating government passivity in the face of economic struggle. A target electorate is likely to be the more skeptical. It seems counterintuitive, but the Federal Trade Commission has just decided that a $29 billion merger of 2 of the 3 largest companies that manage pharmaceutical benefits for employers and health plans, Express Scripts and Medco Health Solutions, would not substantially lessen competition. That judgment deserves credence because of the thoroughness of the FTC's 8-month inquiry and the willingness of the agency to oppose other mergers when the evidence warrants. The best news to come out of the investigation is that there are a growing number of challengers to the giant pharmacy benefit managers, known as PBMs, including big insurance plans that have decided to enter the business and smaller standalone companies that are increasingly winning business by offering customized services, such as making their pricing models more transparent. The big players should take note. The PBMs purchase drugs from manufacturers or wholesalers and dispense them by mail order or through pharmacies to enrollees in a health plan.